Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. How's everyone doing? We are today. Another stream. Texas Instruments killed my brain cells yesterday. Their software runs on Linux but doesn't support their own dev boards, even though Linux detects them. Then they have undocumented error codes. Yikes. Howdy, howdy. How's it going? It's going well. Thank you very much. Got some good numbers in today. Dan's gone and got some food. I wonder what he's going to be eating. Stubborn Texan doesn't have a mic today. And we've got Link. Welcome, mate. Welcome back. Got Meg, Proton, Sly, Julio. Let's start unmuting people, actually. Julio, Dan. Who else can we unmute? That's it for now, I think. Pizza, pasta, and garlic nuts. Damn. That sounds pretty good, actually. Sounds pretty good indeed. What's on the pizza? What is on the pizza, Dan? Come on, mate. Can't keep it to yourself. The office looks a bit. Oh, geez, I'm pulling up the order. There's the office is a bit messy because we're moving to a new office, so there's a little bit of mess here. So I do apologize. I know it's not a shattering amounts of mess, but still. There you go. All right, let's have a look what I am trying to do here. I am trying to. Yes, there we go. That is now working. Rejoining cluster. Great. So let me just pop on over to here, and then if I just go with ES code, you should be seeing it. Yeah, okay. So you're not going to get the whole picture. I'll show. I'll get you the code, but you're not going to get the console. I'm afraid, just because there's some little secrets in there. Well, not secrets, but just in case I do paste it. Like this encryption key here is going to get replaced anyway, so that's fine. But yeah, so what I'm doing today is I really need to get this console cluster up and running. So that's what I'm going to be hacking on today. You guys are welcome to, Dan and Julia are welcome to chat if they want to. And I can happily get involved and I'll read the chat and I'm still here, etc. But at the same time, I'm going to be automating this console server. Very poorly, but I'm going to be doing it anyway. All right, let's go in here. So I'm up to the point where I'm getting the console followers, the console agents, to connect to the servers. So that's fine. I'm just going to close all these windows because there's just a load of stuff going on. All the IPs are all locked down and everything. That's all great. I've generated TLS certificates here. So now I need to get those certificates up. So I think what I'm going to have to do is push these up before HashiCorp runs. So HashiCorp is awesome. It's amazing at getting the software on there, getting it up and running on the servers. It'll install Nomad Vault, Boundary console for you, etc. But it doesn't have all of the flags on the command line interface. So you have to eventually craft your own config file and then push it up. So what I'm doing at the minute is I am attempting to are they all called? Are they all PEM files? Yeah, they are all PEM files. So I can actually just replace that with, whoops, startup PEM. Sudo move, you run to the console. Well, that won't be a thing because I moved them, so I don't know why I'm doing that. That's stupid. All right, so let's see, just out of interest, if that works. Let's do bash console leader. Well, that's say chin. How's everyone doing? Does anyone have any questions or does anyone have anything they'd like me to look at? Oh, that script actually won't go ahead because... Let me regenerate that. I'm really enjoying using console and Nomad. It's actually just crazy good. Honestly, it's just ridiculous. Alrighty, let's try that again. Oh, that's the followers one. God damn it. Keep running the wrong script. Oh, right, okay. I got an error, but that's okay. There's an error I could work with. Let me just adjust this quickly. Guess no harm in you. Yes, it'll need to increase the font size a bit. It's probably still a little bit difficult for you to read, right? Sorry about that. Let's have a look. No change detected. Let's disconnect here. Let's go to leaders. All right, sudo, and then we're gonna go and see if we can. So we can still see then the console.html. The encryption's decrypted. All right. So what I'm going to do now is, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect here. And do Terraform destroy. I think once you've got an established cluster, you can't just swap certificates out and start hacking around. So I'll go with, yeah, I'll just destroy it all for now. And you guys can actually see the whole Terraform build process if you want to. And then we'll, I'll do a rebuild. As you can see, there's a bit for a bit. And then what I'll do is I'll start pushing up the client stuff now with the authentication. So this is in an effort to do what Phil was suggesting, which was bootstrapping console with its own CA, its own CA sets. So I think we should be able to do that, I believe. That's what I've been doing in the past anyway. So we're enabling the UI at the top here, making this agent particular console binary run as a server. We're going to be expecting 3 servers to come in. We've got our retry join here. Let's put that here actually, just so they're a bit more. Yes. Verify incoming true, verify outgoing true. So that's verifying servers at the server level. So the verify incoming and outgoing by using TLS, and then verify server hostname. So that'll be inside of the certificate itself. CA file of what I've generated, data sets. So these variables here aren't being substituted by Bash. These are being substituted by Terraform. So what I'm essentially doing is I just have template files where once I build the infrastructure, because Terraform understands that infrastructure, and then processing templates, providing all of the relevant details. And then we can look at template files, and then we've got where do we go in here? Local files, and then I'm just spitting out lots of configuration files, shell scripts, etc. They all go out into this directory here, output on the left, and so we get like clients, we get server, etc. There's nothing in there right now because I've just done a Terraform destroy, obviously. So with the Terraform destroy, it deletes those files once it's finished its work. And then we've got Nomad, which will be next after that. I've got my TLS stuff here, which I've generated manually by just doing console TLS CA create on the command line, sort of offline. That's created those files for me. And then, yeah, and then we generate a script for the followers, the leaders, and the Nomad cluster as well. So the leaders, for example, will attempt to do a key scan on them, put the SSH fingerprints inside of known host for me. Then we'll go and upload the certificates, the PEM file, and the certificate and private key. And then we'll SSH over there, we'll move some files around, and then we'll run HashiUp, which is a tool that enables you to bootstrap a cluster very, very quickly. So we've got the target address, so we're going to be connecting to the leader, we're going to be using the Ubuntu, and then we're just going to be pushing our config file up. But what this also does for you as well is it installs all of the it basically installs the software for you. I could actually forego this and probably actually just use a couple of SSH commands if I want to, but I'll leave it in there for now. But my intention is, because all I'm actually doing is using it to install and push a config file now, whereas before I was using lots of flags and getting it to do a lot of the work for me. Because I'm not going to be doing it now, I'm probably just going to push this out the way and use configuration management to do the work for me. So yeah, Julia's being quiet. Wonder why that is. New unread introductions. Got people coming in. The server good. The server's getting nice and busy now. It's getting good. It's getting very good. Alrighty. Let's see. I got my friend in the UK. I told him that I was going to be streaming. If he saw the message. He probably didn't. He's probably not online. All good. Okay, has that gone through? Yes, it has. Alright.
Can you hear me, Michael?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, just to make sure.
How have you been?
Good. Got screwed over by Amazon. Nothing but it.
Oh, why?
Like bought a scanner. It can. It was defected. Then I went. Then I went to Best Buy to buy the exact same scanner. So essentially, I double pay.
Oh,
It can take for. It would take forever for me to return, like to mailing, return all that stuff, and I just don't want to.
yeah. Yeah, that sucks. Alright, so we've got Terraform producing quite a bit here. It's usually the load balancer, the ALB, that takes the longest to boot to create. It's going to create some DNS records. I've not really fully sorted the DNS and everything, but I can also do that after the fact as well because it's non-destructive. But the important thing is once that boots up, we can then get the console servers going, the console agents, and when I'm happy that that's all booting correctly, TLS is enabled, etc., then we can then provision hopefully a Nomad over the top. But I've got a feeling that Nomad, I'm going to have to get the Nomad servers talking to console with SSL. So that's going to be interesting. Nomad console. Oops. That shouldn't be too difficult to do. Automatic console clustering. Let's go down to console namespaces. All that is needed for TLS skip verify. Let's find the configuration block for it. To enable console discussion, please see the console. Yeah, okay. Console auth and then a token. Okay, address, notification auth CA. Specifies an optional path to CA certificate used for console communication as default system bundle unspecified. Might need to provide that CA file. Specifies the path to the certificate used for console communication. Just say your key file. Check auto client auto join. Key file namespace, service namespace. Interesting. SSL. Specifies the transport scheme should use HTTPS to communicate with console agent. Will default to console HTTP environment variable if set. Token specifies token use per request ACL. Verifier SSL. SLP verification should be used when communication API. Will default to console environment so if not set. Okay, the example shows the default console integration. Okay, so auto advertise, server auto join, client auto join. That just popped out the end. Yeah. Okay. Console leader run. Okay, so it already exists. Fine. Follows provision. Leaders provision already exists. Does it already exist at that point? That's interesting. Okay. Cockroach actually file exists. Maybe I'm installing console ahead of time. All right, cool. Let's do bash console follower. And then we'll see if they work. Outputs. Now we can actually see some outputs. So let's head on over to the leader here. Notice we don't need to verify the SH key because of the key scan that I was doing earlier. Status console. So let's have a look. Failed. So let's have a look and do channel. Okay, let's have a look. Failed to open, so you go open. Really? Did they not copy off correctly? Ah, oh. Oh, they did. Okay. The name's correct. Yep, the name's correct. The perms aren't correct though. Definitely not correct. I wonder where it looks. Okay, I wonder if it. I thought it maybe looked in the local directory, but maybe it doesn't. Okay, let's just go to console D. Let's get it looking over here. Alrighty, we should be able to rejig this one without destroying, missing a slash there. Alright, so if we look at the script for the leaders, and we look at this, we look here, we push it all up, we move it, but then what we're not doing, go chmod 0 full 0, I guess. Console.d slash startup temp. Let's add that in. Just worried that the permissions will be a little bit too open. So if I do now, if I do a Terraform apply now, it will regenerate regenerate the provisioning script for me with the changes that I've made. Because obviously it's seen a change in the file, and that's how Terraform works. How's your programming been going, Julio?
Good.
Nice. What was it you're working on again?
Let me show you, or I'm put a picture on the stream chat.
Alright, so permissions was successfully changed, but now the ownership is wrong. Console.
Yeah, I posted on the stream chat.
Nice. Check that out in just a second. Oops. Okay. Game. Oh, wasn't it? Oh, this was your game library thing, yeah?
Yes, basically since I need to cross check and keep track of which game I don't own and which game I do own, and since the issue is that I already got to the point where I cannot just base it like, oh, this is a game I own already. I also have to check what are the rest of the games that I haven't bought yet.
Hmm. You're running the wrong script all the time.
Funny enough, it's actually pretty. It's like you can look at my code for that. This is in Golang, but the TUI library, the terminal user interface library I'm using, is actually quite straightforward in terms of creating interactive terminal user interface.
Yeah, I've used it before. It's really good. I was using it for my little hacking game that I was creating, which I need to get back
Wait, what
into.
hacking game?
I was creating just a small hacking game based on the concept of it spins up an API, and then you have some basic binaries locally. And what happens is you essentially the API exposes the ability to perform certain actions, and obviously in memory and stuff, it has this sort of world that contains all of these like networks that you can sort of break into. It's very very simplified, but the idea was you can write you get some basic tools that you can connect to, and you can look at files on the servers and things, and it's mostly there. But the idea is that because it's all API driven, you're meant to write your own tools to in order to interact with the API and hack the system. And so it was actually a very small game designed to focus on enabling people to practice writing command line tools and talking to APIs and consuming APIs. And it just made some effectively gamified the process so they could have a little bit more fun doing it. I just need to get back into it. It's mostly done actually.
So it's like similar in a way to hack the site, right?
It's very fictional, so it's not like real hacking, of course. It's
No, but like, same goes for hack the site. You know what I'm talking about, right?
yeah, no, but no, it's not.
Okay. Because hacks the site, like the it's not the service, but the website that's called hack this site is actually fantastic for learning how like to sort of do like cross-site scripting and stuff like that.
I'm confused.
Just out of curiosity, if it's okay with you, Michael, is it possible if you can put your like your like your view on to the top right, since technically it is blocking certain logs. So oh, okay, now.
This?
Yeah, like this because like yeah, it's easier to see now the full log because yeah.
Sure. Uh,
Where is your PAM file then?
hmm. Console agency APM. I thought I put it up. Why has it brought up the key?
Wait,
Hmm.
there's two files. There's the C8 key and then C8 and then C8, right?
Hmm. Okay,
I see it
there
there.
it is. Alrighty, let's go to ca.pam. No biggie. It's all a refinement process. It's all good. I was going to take a break from working on my OS. I currently have a lot of tedious refactoring around memory allocated nonsense I have to do by messing around with the GUI programming using Nano GUI. It evolved quickly into me finding a leak and taking apart the whole GUI framework I was using to find it. That's, I mean, it's probably worth chasing down, right? It'd probably be very, very helpful to the community if you were to implement that. So let me see if total agency be too quickly. Maybe I'm not moving it there. Right. It's more like it. Alrighty. So let's look at the leaders, grab the public IP. Okay. Hmm. Interesting. It still hit 8500. Pretty certain I discontinued that. Number of nodes 1, so they all can't see each other, maybe. Alrighty. Let's have a look. That's odd. That should have been sweet. Okay. Da-da. See if I can go pen. Really? Yeah, no, you are correct. Huh. Da-da-da-da. Ah, I didn't update that IP. That was silly. Got it there as well. Copy paste fail. BBB, BBB, CCC. Alright, am I changing that in the... That is in the... Yes, okay. Alrighty. Where am I here? I found the git issue. Nano GUI. Has your food arrived yet, Dan?
Not yet.
That's pretty unacceptable, mate. I don't think you should tip.
Yeah, I only ordered it right at the beginning of the stream, so it's all good. I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to get a Raspberry Pi CM4 Lite to netboot over TFTP, and I am not even getting logs, even though I can verify that it is connecting. So it's frustrating.
Oh. Alright, must okay. I got a feeling that. Yes, okay. Okay. That's fine. So it is joining. It is working as expected now. Where are we? There's, so let's see, 2 of them. Alright, so the third one needs to be rebooted. So let's try and do a I'm gonna try and do a complete destroy from scratch again. My food isn't even 10 minutes. I scream at the driver. How dare they? So what I was getting at. I've got a minorly annoying story involving a college. Is that a colleague at my university or college? My university is made up of colleges. Yeah, okay. It's made up of 22 or so colleges. Yeah, most universities are. Let's have a look at this Nano GUI. I don't think I have a browser set up for stream at the moment. I don't think. HTTP. Maybe it's the old one. Yeah, it's that old one. Okay. Where are you? Let's grow you out a little bit. It's the same one from last time. Nano GUI. Windows cross-platform, OpenGL, GLS3, and Metal. Metal. Woo! Metal. Example screenshots. So I guess it's native then. Oh, I see. Oh no, I can see that Windows native. Ah, I see. Wow, okay. Yeah, right. Metal is Apple. Yeah. Uh-huh. I know. But that's not native internally inside that window. They're obviously being generated inside as inside of the engine, inside the graphics engine. Whereas the obviously the outer windows, obviously OS X. Interesting. UI is always hard. Always hard. So look at Hacker News actually, see what we got. I've not checked it this morning. Reverse engineering in the Yamaha DX synthesizer, how much skin grew up. Solving the case of 500 mile email. The hell? The following is a 500-mile email story in the form it originally appeared in the post. Okay. I'm not reading all that, but alright. We'll read it later. Sign over to data with your SSH keys. That's cool. Can't really see very well. Because I don't have the windows set to... I don't have my whole screen set to 1080p. I usually use fancy zones to like set everything down to 1080p so it all fits inside the thingy really nicely. But today I'm just using the full res because I'm working on the code, which is now finished. Okay, did you know that you can use the shkeygen command to sign and verify signatures on object data, like files and software releases? Although this feature isn't super new, it was added in 2019. It seems to be a little known. It's a shame because it's super useful and the most viable alternative to PGG for signing data. That's why I like it. It's not PGP. SSH everywhere. SSH keys are easy. SSH is optional. Lightweight certificates. You'll soon be able to sign git commits and tags with SSH. That's pretty nice. That's really nice actually. Signing is straightforward. Keygen -y sign the key and then the file to sign. So you'd want you'd want to sort of um, automate that so that you did like a post commit automation to sign all the things inside of your staging area. Let's see what Hacker News says on that. I'm sure someone will come along and say it's bad or something. The most important reason people use OpenPGG message format is because it's well accepted standard. Sure, it's not new form, but it is secure. Standard has provision, to ensure that the signatures are from a particular entity. No, it does not. So the provisions to ensure the signatures are from a particular private key, mapping that to a human meaningfully identity is beyond the scope. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. They don't necessarily validate your identity just because a signature says it was encrypted by a particular key, but that doesn't mean it was actually signed by a particular person. Just that key's been used. That's why we have essentially mutual TLS, right? We're going into a world of zero trust because we're saying, well, even though the device is sending a TLS connection and is giving me usernames and passwords and authentication, it doesn't mean that the device is who it says it is. And so MTLS tells us that we now have to verify that we are the device we say we claim to be. Good idea. Terrifying idea. Trusting a third party to maintain the metadata about a key and whose identity it represents. Yeah. That's the only problem. It's an interesting idea. Let's have a look. Project anything DevOpsy, mommy and a grumpy slapbot who doesn't like your ideas. Okay. I'm too sure to depend on software. Email from API looks odd. What? So it's very early for me. I apologize. I'm being a bit sleepy. Yeah, this is terrifying to receive. An email from the FBI supposedly just came through. Intelligence monitoring indicates that fluctuation of several of your virtualized clusters and a sophisticated chain attack. We tried to black hole transit nodes used by this advanced persistent threat actor. However, there is a huge chance he will modify his attack with fast flux technologies, okay, which he proxies through multiple global accelerators. We identified the threat actor to be Vinny Troya, whom is believed to be affiliated with the extortion gang, the Dark Overlord. We highly recommend you to check your systems and its monitoring. Beware the threat actor is currently working on the inspection of the NCCIC, as we are dependent on some of his intelligence research. We cannot interfere physically within 4 hours, which would be enough time to cause severe damage to your infrastructure. Stay safe. Okay. DKIM signatures in place. Has he got DMark? What DKIM has he got? Okay. Da, 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 da. Oh yeah, DMark, yeah it does. Okay, it's spam. Okay, good. But what's the point not advertising anything but the name Tony? Yeah, as mentioned, no links, no Trojan attachments, maybe to get you to reply. Makes no sense. Urgent, threat actor systems. I think they just threw a load of headers in there to make it look like it was decimmed and all that stuff. Gonna ask Dan if his pizza's arrived, but it's gone offline. Are you trying to talk to you, Leo?
No, as I use the I use backtick for push to talk.
Ah,
But then when in Linux, if you want to switch between the same application but different window, you use Alt backtick.
yeah. Just had like a little every now and then. Lots of people commenting the text well, it seems amateurish. It is pretty amateurish. Oh, there's a big block of text link. I am not reading that. Not on stream anyway. We just book of ever encountered meta object protocols, why we want them, and what else they do. Sounds like Cloudflare blocks almost 2 terabytes multi-vector DDoS attack. Yikes! Maybe it's that Tony guy, Tony whatever. The strong and weak force of architecture, the breeder's equation, DTA language for expressing and calculating date and time. That's not good, Mailgun. Trying to find some DevOps stuff. There isn't much really, is there? Oh, jeez. How do you back up your Android phone? Proof of work. Higher maths for beginners. I think I tried to load the higher maths for beginners. Oh, there we go. It did come through eventually. Oh, that's like a full book. Oh, wow. I really have to sit here and read it in this little system. Okay. Download options, one file, PDF. Let's do that. The audio won't come through for you guys. Down. So that's the kind of thing that you would program and then you'd be sending up onto Mars or something, right? To do experiments and all that stuff. I like the way these guys are back here in like They're in like suits. Must be dusty as hell or something. Hmm. A mining competition. Interesting. Why? What is it? What is the type? What is the type of dust? So it's not just that's just not just soil. Then it's oh right, okay. So they're actually using proper regolith in order to actually get it to properly mine the real thing. They're not testing the sort of the mechanics. They're testing the actual mining of the stuff. Mining gravel under the regolith. That's pretty insane. Yeah, well, okay. Look at the little face on the robot here. The little goggly eyes they've put here. That's cute. It's just like, wah, as it turns, wah. Mining, we use a safe version called Azamite for testing. The auto this year is to start with a random location with a random orientation and then be able to navigate through and mine gravel and bring it to the bin twice with no user control. Interesting. Huh. So it's toxic to breathe, but you can touch it because obviously that guy is just going bare hands there. Did you work on this or something, Link? Or is this just something you're just interested in? That's very impressive. That's a random team. I'm part of the university of the user. Ah, okay. You just glitched enough to start dreaming. That's pretty impressive, mate. But couldn't find a recording. Fair enough. My father-in-law did his PhD. I think he did his PhD at NASA, I think. And my mother-in-law was a botanist at NASA. Which is very interesting. I didn't even finish school. I'm an idiot compared to those two. Natural gas comes with Texas stuck with blah 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 blah. Collapse of international military key factor. 3D printed mirror array. I'm still afraid to use spaces and file names. Nice. Fantasy map generator. Oh yeah, I brought this up, but I couldn't. Yeah, oh there it is. Fantasy map generator is updated to version 1.1. Compatible. Blah blah blah. Main characters. Okay. Has that just generated that? Like, just like sort of straight off the bat? Can I get it to? Oh, style presets, ancient. I am very sure. That's very cool. How detailed can I go into that there? Kingdom of Notion. How do I hate that icon stays like that. That's really annoying. Okay. Oh wow, you can actually right, okay. Can I view? Can I view the actual I want to view it. I want to go into it. Okay. Maybe it doesn't go into that much detail. Yeah, it's my first year on the team since I'm a freshman math major, but I did programming for robots for 3 years in high school. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Very clever. Aren't you a clever boy? I guess you can't go any further then. That's pretty cool though. Sort of just goes meh and just ends over here. That's sort of odd. But that's really cool. Alright. There's just nothing on the old let's have a look at the old Reddit. Good old Reddit. What platform? I use GitLab. I'm a huge GitLab fan. Fanboy, in fact. What is the elk stack really worth? Is the elk stack really worth it? Okay. I see so many uses of it, but the resources consumed and the criticism I get from spinning up an elk stack makes me confused. Let me know your opinions on elk. If you use something else for handling logs, monitoring, let me know what you do. Recently moved elk to Logic and Grafana and not looking back. We store all the logs in S3 and index us locally in BoltDB. The queries are slower to pull older data, but well worth the cost savings. We could store 2 to 3 years worth of logs for what we had in elk for only 2 months of logs before we rotated off indexes. That said, you wouldn't be making a wrong choice using elk. It's a great product and works well.
Michael.
Yeah.
So I just finished setting up the Backblaze bucket,
Oh yeah.
and after a bit of more tinkering around, I mean, hopefully it does work. Hopefully, because I don't want to get like $500 bill next month. But I also set up a Cloudflare because apparently, I don't know if you know this, but Backblaze and Cloudflare is part of what's called the Bandwidth Alliance.
Yep.
So basically, if you use Cloudflare to sort of act as like the front access to your Backblaze bucket, then there's no cost for download bandwidth.
Egress. That's interesting, yeah, because I know Cloudflare are coming out with R2, which is their equivalent to Backblaze's B2 for doing the exact same thing. But you can already do it if you just use Backblaze and Cloudflare.
Because I was trying hitting the URL and they immediately say your download cap have exceeded the 1 GB free per day, whatever. I was like, hold on a moment, I thought the egress was free, but I was like, oh no, this is talking about the download bandwidth, which probably something else. Because I think if my memory serves correctly, what they might be talking about is there's the egress from like a S3 bucket level or object level versus you're downloading by HTTP URL via their like whatever public URL style.
So Cloudflare will pull the data out of B2 for free, but will they send it to you for free?
So which is weird, but what's going on is that Cloudflare, because you set up that the Cloudflare CNAME record goes to Backblaze, so that it will potentially go through the Cloudflare service, and Backblaze will see that okay, the request is coming proxying or transferring through a Cloudflare service, so that will be free. So again, it Cloudflare by itself it does cost no money, and the only cost is like registering a domain name, and that's it.
Okay. Well, let me know how that goes. Let me know if you test it and see if you get a bit of a bill, because that's pretty powerful.
Like I just posted there, for example, that is the address, for example, of the one I was testing with.
So if I was to put that, so how big is that file?
I think for this one it's 71 megabyte.
That's one. Okay.
But I already set it up so that if in the future, within the day, if anything happened, I will see if even as minute costs happen, I will still see that little increase in cost, because the entire point is supposed to be free. So if it's not zero, or because if it's not free, then there's something wrong that I set up, and I had to double check. But again, for now, I'll just leave it, because the entire point is that, because in case you're wondering what I'm using Backblaze for in this case, is because you heard earlier I said how I'm about a scanner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm planning to scan all my like games cover and everything, and I'm planning to offer basically like for anybody in the collector scene to use it via CDN.
Oh yeah.
But obviously, I'm not going. I'm going to make sure that it doesn't cost me money if they download it, because if that's the case, this is anything acts as a public image source, so there'll be a lot of download eventually.
Do
Oh,
you want
there's
me
we finished.
to? I've got a gigabit link. Do you want me to hit that file now? Couple of
Don't.
million times for you.
Don't, please.
That'll really test on whether you getting a good deal or not.
Like, wait, why Julian haven't show up haven't show up for the past two stream? Oh no, I'm in some South America digging the mine or something because of the amount of money I own.
Why has that done that? Yes, I trust it. But why didn't you key scan it? That's very odd. That was very odd indeed. That'll be why. I must have done a mass copy paste without a mass copy paste without realizing it or something. That's really odd. Go through and check all of these goddamn IPs. Rongo says ELK and any Elastic-based solution is not worth it if you don't need full text search. I do often think that searching through log files, etc., is not really something that I do all that often, so not really too sure. Maybe.
Michael, remind me again, but just remind me again. But does Bash support double nested environment variable substitution?
Double nested. I don't know. Sorry.
Like let me paste on stream chat the last example.
Okay, so that looks like that's loading fine. So now let's look at the followers provision shell. Okay, and then it goes to config file, client
Something
A,
like
client
this.
B, client C. Oh.
Because I guess again, like most of the code you have, I know that was mostly just looping, but with or the same, but with the ABC variants.
Possibly. Yeah, probably can be. So ABC.
Not a big worry. Like that's like later on when for like code optimization. But for now, I think it's to get it done.
Yeah, I'd rather just optimize it in the Terraform and just be easier because I'd have access to the Go template again.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, the template file function.
Followers. All right, let's see what we get here. Don't think they're gonna join.
So Link just posted it, and it does support. It does seem like a Bash support that sort of nesting expansion.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Console's just crazy. Bash is just crazy good. Okay, now pushing up the keys. Right, that makes sense. So leaders. So we're gonna need something similar.
Good thing we're not. Good thing we're not in the era of seashell. That's not fun.
Script. All right. So we're gonna need to do console. So you don't want the server stuff. You just want the agent. Yeah. So you want the agent stuff to go up. TLS. Then you want to move. There's PAM files to console D. Start PAM. Start PAM. Alrighty.
No, Link. If you're on the quote unquote hipster, it would not be Bash or Zisha or Arc. It would just say Fish is the best. Michael, have you ever tried fish shell?
Yes.
Like fish shell is probably the most hipster shell up there because no, because the thing is like Z shell, bash shell, like all the normal shell, they have a sort of a two-way compatibility for most cases, like in terms of writing shell script.
Yeah.
Whereas fish shell is completely just bunker in terms of like completely not compliance.
Yeah. Isn't it really powerful though? I remember it being really powerful.
Oh, like fish is like extremely like fish. Let's just say Bash and Z shell is good for using as a daily driver shell and writing the script for it. Fish is amazing for daily driving because it have one of the most extensive like prompting display for shell scripting for shell commands. Like you know how like if you use Z shell and then you add oh my Z shell, you can have sometimes you can have that dash dash and then autocomplete and will give you the prompt for all
Yeah.
the like the option. Fish imagine that but for fish shell but on steroid.
Huh.
Pearl is a different story. Pearl was just it was probably one of the earliest sysadmin like shell scripting scripting tool. Hell, like there was one before that. No, there was one concurrently that nobody really uses. Then not much more TCL. Remember
Oh yeah.
TCL?
TCL. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like yeah, Pro is basically it's there. They have a pretty big package repository system like this the CRAN or C-SPAN. I think it's CRAN or CRAN, whatever.
C-SPAN is Perl.
Yeah,
C-PAN.
and then
Yeah.
CRAN
C-PAN.
CRAN is R, I think. But yeah, and then yeah, just in general, Pro is mostly used for like either legacy or very data science, data data OSs. I see that a lot in data OSs that I use Pro a lot.
So I need to put this back in again. Is it also gonna know about the key? Can you also do key file as well? Or not, maybe? Using the official docs.
Where does console? Oh, okay. I'm assuming this is a template file.
That's a template file, yeah.
Do you have the habit of adding TPL for template file?
No, I never do.
I know that's a standard for like some places at least. They add like the file extension and .tpl just to say that's a template file.
Yeah. Oh, that worked straight away. That came through instantly. Boom.
Yay!
And boom. Okay, so all the nodes are coming up fully TLS. Joining cluster. Sweet. All right.
I think that error can be ignored. The
Uh,
non the
failed to
non-known
signal node
error.
state. Yeah, I think that was the initial push.
I mean, the
3.8
easiest.
animated. So yeah, that's seeing that fine. So now the next problem now is Nomad. Hmm. Number provision script. Okay, that pushes it up. Server bootstrap. Yeah, so because this all assumes no SSL at all, so let's just go to the Hashio. Just keep opening up new tabs. We've got 1,000 tabs. Nomad. So you got encrypt the gossip, provides the gossip encryption key, but is that the same key as? No, that's the internal Nomad gossip key. Yeah. CA file. Certificate authority used to check the authenticity of client and server connections. Yeah, okay. Cerf file. We don't need that. We just need the CA file. Right, okay. So I think I have here already. It's probably going to be very similar. Let's just kill some of these tabs. Kill some of these tabs over here as well. All right, I'm going to go offline. Call it a day because I need to focus on this. I hope everyone's well. Sorry if that was a little bit boring. I do apologize. I just really need to get this cluster up and running with TLS, ideally by the end of the weekend. And it's Sunday for me, very early in the morning, 9 a.m. That's pretty early for me. But yes, all up and running by the end of today. So, all right. Well, thanks very much for showing, everyone. Really appreciate it. Next one will be on Wednesday. I think I'll do the same time on Wednesday. I think I'll do 8 a.m. on Wednesday as well. And that'll make it a bit more accessible to more people, I think. But we'll see. So, yeah, thanks very much. And I'll see you on Wednesday.